Hello everyone. So today is day 3 of our vlog challenge, and yeah, today we haven't really been doing much. We went for a run this morning and it was negative 12 degrees outside. That is the coldest I will ever run outside, because who knows, I might not even live in Chicago next year. And then what else did we do today?
Your eyelashes were froze.
Oh yeah, and his mustache was froze. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for today.
We didn't talk about the fast.
And then, oh yeah, still on the fast, eating potatoes and veggies. And, oh yeah, yesterday we went to go negotiate a deal, so we can talk a little bit more about that in depth and how we did that negotiation in a later video.
Yeah, we're still in the middle of it, but as it stands right now, it's 155 units approximately of storage units. So it's a storage facility. So it's going great so far, but stay tuned. It's still a long road ahead of us, you know, raising the capital for it, getting the financing. So it's still a lot to do, but it's going well so far.
Yep. So today we want to talk to you guys about... What do we want to talk about?
Yeah, I got the question. So the question, we try to come up with a question every single day to really go in depth on. Not too much in depth. I don't feel like making a 10-minute video today. Mm-hmm. But the question that we kind of came up with yesterday, and we were just talking, and honestly it just came up, and you know, we thought, oh, that'll be a good topic for a video. So the question is, do you think the parents of millennials sufficiently prepare millennials for the world of today? So we could start on, what's your opinion on that?
So I think not, for the most part, because when our parents were growing up, like, you know, our parents, they might be a little bit older than each other here or there, but for the most part, they didn't have like all this technology, and they had pensions, they had just everything handed to them from their jobs, but we don't. And they also didn't really have that much in student debt, because the student debt, it increases every single year. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure how much every year, but it does increase. And yeah, if they did get their degrees, then that was like a while ago. And some of them didn't even get degrees, and they're good.
Yeah. Like my dad, I don't think he ever went to college, but he's made a decent income, $80,000 and up, for like a while, you know. And you could do that back then, but, and well, today you could still do it now, but I mean, the best kept secret is that, newsflash, trades are the only places where, well, not the only places, but the main places where you can achieve that without a college education. But for most careers, especially the careers that a lot of millennials are looking to go into, are definitely not trades, even though I think trades are like awesome. But a lot of people want to go into other things, and those other things require them to stack up a lot of student loan debt in order to get those types of educations. And even if you do manage to graduate and get a good paying job in your field, I had one of my real estate investing mentors said that when he got out of college and it was time for him to start paying on his student loan debt, it was like over $800 a month.
It's like rent.
Yeah, that's rent and car payment for some people, yeah, like combined. So that's a lot, and that can eat into anybody's lifestyle, even if you are making a decent income. So I side with you on the side of, I don't think we were really prepared for this. And if you look at how quickly the world changes over, a span of just decades, we went from, kind of like she said, having those reliable pensions, being able to work at a job for 30 plus years, and not having to have a college education in order to live the so-called American dream. We went from that to, you work at a job for a maximum of like 5 to 8 years, having to have your own retirement plan in place and knowing how that works and making sure that that is funded. And that's the world we live in now. And even some of the simple things that we were taught, like don't talk to strangers. One girl said her mom always told her you shouldn't go around just saying hey and smiling at everybody. And that's weird because that doesn't work this day and age. Like, I'm reading this one book called The Power of Nice, and that whole book talks about how just these simple, kind gestures that people weren't necessarily taught, that sometimes that's their downfall. Like, people don't realize how, even though the world has changed so much, I feel like manners and treating people kindly are even more important now than they were in the past. And I feel like there's a lot of parents out there who had a child that is a millennial that didn't necessarily emphasize that. They really emphasize education. But
and then also on another note, we have social media now, and like self-confidence is huge, and our parents didn't prepare us for social media and for, you know, people comparing themselves to other people on social media across the world, people they don't even know. So I mean, it's not the parents' fault because it wasn't there before, but it's definitely something that we as millennials need to teach to our younger kids, because social media is only going to get bigger.
And kind of going along with what you said about that, you were talking about self-confidence. I think the greatest thing a parent, and this is just my opinion, I don't have a kid, so I wouldn't know, but I do know for a fact that my parents instilled a lot of confidence in me when I was younger. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed that not everybody's parents taught them to really believe in themselves to that extent. And I feel like my parents didn't even push it that hard. It was just, you know, just naturally, oh, you could do everything. Don't say can't. You can't. You're not allowed to say that. I would actually, I could get put on punishment for saying that I can't do something. And that type of teaching, even if they didn't prepare you for the other things that would happen, that teaching kind of sticks with you throughout those changes, and they carry over into your next career, your next job, your next business, or whatever you are doing. So if you had one of those parents who really made you believe in yourself, consider yourself blessed, because I thought everybody did that up until very recently, and they really didn't. And I feel like that's why I'm growing now.
It's a millennial parent thing, or do you think that's just a parent thing in general?
I think it might be a parent thing in general, just because I feel
I
like
agree. That's why
it's a generational thing. Like, a lot of people, I feel like they don't know how important being confident in yourself is. And I know people who are really smart and like awesome at the things that they do, but they get beat by this guy who's not as smart, who's not as good, but he's just more confident in himself. And, you know, confidence leads to networking. People want to follow those who are confident. And if you weren't necessarily taught that from a young age, it's kind of a skill that you kind of have to master on your own. But it can be, because I mean, I'm a lot more confident in myself than I used to be. I'm a lot more confident in myself now than I was last month. So, you know, it's definitely a skill. And I think that's one of the most important ones you can have in this day and age. And networking is key. And that's one thing I know most parents didn't talk about as much as networking. But I'm rambling now. So she told me to stop. So
yeah, so we were trying to keep this video kind of short.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really not that short. So if you listen this far, thank you for tuning in. And yeah, the overall message that I got is don't listen to your parents. No, I'm just kidding. You can listen to them, but, you know, remain open-minded about everything. Question everything.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's all for today. All right.